Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, Akio Sanomiya was brought before none other than Vice Principal Uesui, who without preamble and without mincing words, formally declared the dissolution of Churohai's Robotics Research Club. It is no more, following the wake of the accident that injured Subaru over at the old airport. And with the death of the club that Misaki Sonomiya started all those years ago, lies the ashes of Akio's dream of debuting Gunbuild 2 over at the Tokyo Expo. But as serious as Subaru's injuries are, he is lucky to be alive. The same, however, cannot be said for Mizuka Irei, who succumbed to her wounds that she suffered after being pretty much forcefully dragged off the cliff by the HUG that was supposed to help her live her life, but instead caused her death. Now, Kaito Yashio feels extremely responsible about this whole situation, but there is in fact one other individual who is bearing the weight of this tragedy far more heavily than Kaito. And that individual is none other than the former Robotics Club advisor, Mitchie, or rather, Mitsuhiko Nagafukada. Yes, I said it. I finally said his full name. The first time in a long time. Akio and I are the only ones from the Robotics Club who showed up. Well, you were the only three that she ever interacted with on the island. And as for Misaki, well, it's obvious that she's nowhere to be found. At least not here. After everything that happened in the end. The doctors did everything they could to save her, but it was too late. Mitchie spent the entire service staring at a photo of Mizuka-san. He wasn't crying, nor did he appear to be in pain. And yet, I'm sure that he is grieving in his own way. All he did was vacantly stare. After the funeral, Mitchie said he wanted to talk with us for a bit. While he wore a tough face, it was certain he was hurting on the inside, so we decided to go with him. Along the way, he stopped to buy an extremely expensive bottle of awamori from the liquor store. In my personal opinion, not the first choice, but then again, it was only a month ago that I was surfing on this very beach. Man, Mizuka-san was a total Spartan back when she was coaching me, until she finally figured out your real intentions. Richie stands on the beach and gazes out at the waves breaking and receding on the shore for a while. His expression is the same one he wore while staring at Mizuka-san's photo during the service.
先生がお前らと同じ年の頃な、イレイがサーフィンやってるのをよくこうして見に来てたんだよ。
course, this is actually the first time in which he has actually properly conversed with Kaito and Akiho.
ヤシオみたいにロボ部をサボってな。
ミッチーってアキちゃんよりダメ部長だったんじゃない？
よく言われたさ。イレイにもな。
Indeed. After all, the real person behind the Robotics Club was neither Mizuka nor Mitchie, but Misaki Tsunomiya. And yet, she chose Mitchie to be the first ever inaugural president.
ミッチーは水か姉のこと好きだったの？
どうだかな。
That's as good an answer as any.
一度も告らなかったしよ。つまるところ恋愛感情はなかったのかもしれねえ。
And yet, you were friends and acquaintances.
あいつ怖い女だったしな。
Yeah, Kaito can agree with you there.
瀬宮からな、弔電が届いてたってよ。
Which one?
あ、ここで言うのは姉の方な。
うん。
イレイのご両親も複雑だって言ってたよ。瀬宮がイレイの一番の親友だったってのはご両親も知ってる。でもよ、あのハグをプレゼントしたのは瀬宮なんだよな。
And that makes the situation even worse.
やりきれないだろうよ。ご両親も瀬宮もよ。
Then Mitchie looks at me.
なあ、イレイは最後何か言ってたか？言ってたなら先生にも教えてくれよ。
I don't think you're going to like
知っ
it.
ときたいんだ。
Should I? Should I tell him that she was hiding something? That she was trying to stop me from collecting the Kimijima reports? I can't tell him that.
ミサ姉にありがとうって伝えてくれって。
Because those were the final words that Mizuka left Kaito.
ハグのこと感謝してるからって恨まないってそう言ってた。
And that's the truth.
そうか。先生とイレイと瀬宮の中じゃな、イレイが一番年上ぶってやがってよ。
Indeed, because she was the most passionate, the most driven.
いつだってどっしり構えて先生や瀬宮をすぐ叱りつけてきやがったもんさ。
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's talking about Mizuka, not Misaki. I got momentarily confused there for a second.
先生は何かと反論したんだけどな。最終的には手が出てきてよ。まったくひどい暴力女だった。で、あっさり屈服さ。
I believe it.
その点瀬宮はうまくやってたな。むしろイレイに怒られて嬉しそうだったよ。変態なのかもしれねえ。
Probably should keep your opinions to yourself
お
there.
姉ちゃんは変態なんかじゃないよ。
冗談だよ、冗談。
And yet you're joking at a time like
だが
this.
当時神童とまで呼ばれてた瀬宮を叱れるやつなんて教師の中にすらいなかったからよ。
Maybe not even Usui would do such a thing.
イレイはそういう意味でも一目置かれてた。 もう高校卒業してから7年近くになるのか。
How time flies. Mitchie suddenly removes the cork on the bottle of awamori.
イレイはな、とんでもねえ酒豪だったんだぞ。これ豆知識だ。
You want to talk, Mitchie? I thought he was going to start chugging the bottle himself. Me too, Kaito. Me too. But instead he walks up to the edge of the water and starts pouring the bottle into the sea.
乾杯だ。
This is his way of offering condolences. When I think about Mizuka-san, my chest still throbs with pain. She was right in front of my eyes, but I couldn't save her. What am I supposed to do anymore? There is still one thing you can do, Kaito Yashio. One thing that could potentially prevent all of this from happening further. There's also the thing that she said at the end. Or was she hiding that we'd be better off not knowing? That is a question that even Mizuka herself could not answer, because she never allowed herself to ask the question in the first place. I have no idea if it's wise to dig it up anymore. I don't think wisdom enters into the equation at this point, Kaito. Because we still have unfinished business. Mitchie leaves after telling us that he still had to help with the funeral service. Akiho and I decide to swing by Subaru's house. Akiho wanted this. She needs to go to his dad and make things right, painful as it is. When she told me her intentions, I didn't try to stop her. We didn't get to see him at the hospital, so we haven't actually seen Subaru since the accident. From what I understand, his dad told the nurses not to let the Robotics Club or anyone related see his son. It's only natural for him to be that angry. Subaru may be permanently injured because we forced him to join the club. Subaru's injury is a comminuted fracture. They're still considering what surgery to do. It's that serious. Whether he'll be able to walk, do any sports, or exercise at all depends on the surgery and rehab. After having the giant Model 2 fall on him, the doctors said he was lucky to get away with just a broken leg. Not that that's any consolation. True enough, that's not really lucky at all. Anyway, the reason we're visiting is simple. Akiho is in charge of apologizing. I'm in charge of getting hit. That's all. My role in this sucks, and even Akiho tried her best to convince me not to come. But I can't risk him laying a hand on her. Though I highly doubt that Subaru's dad would do something like that to a young lady. But it would be pretty furious. But I'm still here as her shield, just in case. Anyway, we park our scooters at the Otatsu Metatsu Rocks lot near his house, and get ready to charge in when...
ジュン
Junna's here. We encountered Junna, crying and slowly trudging away from the direction of Subaru's house. Looks like she's beaten us to the punch, Akiho. She's alone. We sit her down on a nearby bench to try and calm her down.
純ちゃんさ、こんなところにいるってことは、もしかしてスバルくんの実家行っちゃったわけ？
うん。スバルのお父さんに会ったの？だって私のせいだから。とにかく謝らなきゃって思って。償うためなら何でもするって土下座して。なのにね、日高くんのお父さんこう言ったんだよ。あんたのせいじゃないのは分かってるって。分かってはいるが、もう息子と関わらないでくれってそう言って追い返されちゃったの。
That's unexpected. I thought he'd be more angry. He's probably more angry at Subaru than the rest of the club. We saw the man punch his son with our own eyes. Looks like you're not getting hit today after all, Kaito. That image is so strong that I just kind of figured he was a violent guy.
まだ殴られた方がよかった。日高くんのお父さんすごく寂しそうだったんだもん。あんな顔されたら謝ることもできなくなっちゃうよ。私のせいっていうのは何も変わらないのに。日高くんのお父さんに許してもらったって、私は私のこと許せないのに。
And now that I think about it, Fujita isn't going to be taking this well as well. The robot doctor had regained his passion for building new robots and dedicating himself to completing Gunbuild 2. But after this, yeah. He'll be going through the same thing as Junna.
私いつだってチューブラリンだよ。ジュン、落ち着いて。あの時の事故を見てたから言うけど、あれはジュンのせいじゃない。本当に風のせいで不可抗力だったの。ね、だからそんなに思い詰めないで。
True as that is, I don't think that's going to console Junna any.
無理だよ。
Junna slaps Akiho's hand away. She doesn't even try to wipe the tears covering her face.
ごめんね、あきほちゃん、ヤシオくん。私もうみんなとは関わらないから。 全部私のせいだから。みんなは何にも悪くないから。私一人がロボ部をやめればそれで。
Yeah, about that.
それ無意味だよ、純ちゃん。
What he said. Yeah.
ロボ部はもうなくなったから。
そう。
Indeed. It is no more. Ah, crap. I shouldn't have said that.
バカ。今ここで言うことじゃないでしょ。
She was going to find out anyway. She's exactly right. I made a huge mistake, and it's too late to undo it.
私のせい。私のせいでアキホちゃんの夢も万博出場もロボ部の歴史も全部ダメになっちゃったんだ。私が操縦なんてしなければ。
There were many things that could have and indeed should have been corrected.
いや、純ちゃん、落ち着いて。
But you being the co-operator wasn't it, Junna?
ごめん、私は。
There's little we can do to solve the situation. Once again, large tears start falling from Junna's eyes.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。純。
As Junna wails, Akiho reaches her arms around her and hugs her tightly. Neither me nor Akiho have any words to offer her, because no words will suffice. In the end, no matter what we say, they're just words. We should leave Junna be until she calms down. We can talk to her again later. As for Subaru's father, we probably shouldn't try to see him anymore. Since Junna has already visited on our behalf. We accompanied Junna back to her house. Afterward, Akiho and I headed home, the sky already stained with the color of the sunset.
カイ、じゃあまた明日ね。
Akiho smiles weakly and waves at me before heading into her house.
アキちゃん。
She stops and turns around, tilting her head in confusion. It's like Kaito has one last thing to say.
どうしたの？
アキちゃんは大丈夫？
うん。うちよりカイの方がきついでしょ。
In some respects.
カイもちゃんと休んでね。
But Akiho is putting on a brave face.
この先どうするわけ？
The Robotics Club is gone. We've lost our funding from Jackson and Spacey Andy. After working so hard on Model 2, it's going to be disassembled. Same for the currently sealed away failure, Model 1. All of that hard work, all of Fujita's engineering. Subaru is injured, and with Junna in her current state, neither of them will be recovering anytime soon. All the effort we put into toward next month's expo was for naught. But I know for a fact that Aki will do anything for a dream.
わかんない。
I bite my lip hard in response to Akio's answer. I want to say something. But no matter what I say, I'd just be forcing my own thoughts on her. This is something Akio needs to decide for herself.
じゃあアキちゃん、また明日。
And that's how it is.
うん。また明日。
Akio stares right at me. I pull away from her gaze. And started my scooter. Returning home. Or maybe not. Unable to bring myself to go home, I end up here. Back at Uchigaoka Park. Which is where this episode of Let's Play Robotics Elite is going to come to a close. And when we return, adventurers, it's all up in the air. As always, until next we meet.